Recently, KFC made waves with their new menu item, a fried chicken sandwich with glazed donuts as the bun. While it's easy to dismiss this as the most gluttonous American thing we've seen to date, anybody who's tried chicken and waffles knows that this sweet and savory dynamic can work wonders on a plate. But the question is this like chicken and waffles, a new southern staple potentially, or is it more like the Choco, KFC's last foray into gluttony? Today, my partner Michelle and I are going to try to find out, starting with making the donuts from scratch. So to do that, we're going to warm up some milk, not make it hot because that'll kill the yeast, but warm it up in the microwave for 10 to 20 seconds, add the yeast till it blooms, then we're going to add in some melted butter and some eggs. See, I'm going to put the measurements down below so that you guys can follow along if you're making it at home, but I use Pioneer Woman's donut recipe, and then I just cut it in half because it seemed like it was going to make a lot of donuts. After that's all done, we're going to start incorporating our flour bit by bit, and yeah, we're just going to pour it in, stir until a dough starts to form. I added a little bit of salt right there to the dough. And then, yeah, start using your hands once you can feel like you can incorporate it without it sticking everywhere. Bring it out on a well-floured work surface and work it into a nice dough. Then you just oil up a bowl. It's a bowl. It's definitely a bowl. Put the dough in there, and then since it's going to sit overnight, you can brine some chicken if you want. I made a rosemary salt brine, but you can also use buttermilk if you'd like that. So it's the next day now, and we're rolling out the dough, getting it to a point where it's flat enough to become our donuts. I rolled them a lot flatter than Pioneer Woman suggested because I thought that this sandwich was a little bulbous and could use some downsizing. And then I just used a bowl and a shot glass to start making our donut shape. You can use a donut cutter if you have one, but if you're there, you probably shouldn't be watching this video because you already know more about donut making than I do. So this actually worked pretty well. You saw in the first one I had to bust out a knife to try to cut it out, but I just wasn't putting enough pressure down. So yeah, if you put enough pressure and twist hard enough, you will cut out the donuts pretty easily. And then once I cut out those, I took the excess dough, rolled it back into itself, and then flattened it out again. And this got me another 2 donuts and like 5 donut holes out of the deal. I tried to do this again, as you'll see, after I finished cutting these donuts and donut holes out, but there just was not enough elasticity in the dough anymore. So this is what I got. And then you just let that sit until the donuts have doubled in size like this, look all airy and puffy, and then they're ready to fry. So what I did was I used a combination of peanut and vegetable oil. These both have high heat tolerances and are great for frying. And then you just heat those up to about 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And once you put in a donut and you see that bubbling, that beautiful bubbling, that means you can put the rest in. So yeah, I just added the rest, and you see me using my hands for this. Don't be stupid like I am. Look at me, like literally flicking donuts around inside hot frying oil. That's a bad move. You should use a little wire flipper like this in order to make it happen. But yeah, cook the donuts for about 1.5 minutes on each side till they're golden brown like this, and you're good to go. Now I'm going to pass you over to my partner Mish, and she's going to show you how to make the glaze for them.
So you're going to start out with 1/4 cup of butter melted in the microwave, and you're going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla and give it a quick little stir there with your Star Wars spatula. Then you're going to add 2 cups of powdered sugar, and I would recommend sifting it. I did not do it here, and my glaze was a little bit lumpy. So sift your powdered sugar first. Give it a nice stir and keep stirring until you have a nice little paste there. Then you're gonna add some milk until it forms like a Elmer's school glue type consistency. Keep stirring, and once you get it to combine and it's a little bit thinner, you're gonna take out your mini whisk to whisk it up because we only own a mini whisk, don't know why. So keep whisking it until it's nice and smooth. And that's it. Dip those glazed little donuts.
So as my beautiful partner Mish said, it is now time to dip your donuts. Now I do a dip, flip, dip, and sit method. That's dip, flip, dip, sit. So basically I dip the donut, I flip it, I dip it again, and then I give it a little shake, and then I put it back on this wire rack here for the glaze to start cooling off and really connecting to those donuts. And I was surprised at how beautiful these turned out. This was our first time making donuts at home, and honestly, these were pretty awesome. So now it's time to work on our chicken. We're gonna take it out of the brine, cut it in half to get more sandwich-sized pieces, and then immediately start tenderizing it. Yeah, smash it out. And then we are going to be working on our dredge for that after. The dip in the dredge, actually. Take some eggs, whisk them together, add some hot sauce. I used Hot One's classic sauce, but you can use Tabasco and get a very similar flavor. And then for the dredge right here, take some flour, add some salt, crack some fresh pepper in it, and if you like it spicy like I do, you can also add a dash of cayenne right here. And then I also added a touch of paprika for some smokiness. And then anybody with a brain will tell you don't use two hands for this, but yeah, you go dredge, you go over to the dip afterwards, and then back in the dredge and put on a wire rack to the side, and it's ready to fry up. At this point, your fry oil should be at around 350 degrees. You can use the same one you use for the donuts, and yeah, just put your chicken in. If it keeps bubbling, it's good to go. It's hot enough. Your chicken's gonna cool it down when you put it in, but if it keeps bubbling, it should have enough heat to fry your chicken. Lift it up once, it's not golden brown enough. Lift it up now, beautiful. Put it to the side, add some salt and pepper, and it's ready for the sandwich. So you put the donut down, add that piece of chicken. I put some chopped rosemary because I love that southern hominess that it provides. And then I also added some Nashville style hot sauce because with my chicken and waffles, I always like to add a nice hot sauce. I feel like it works so well with the sweetness of the waffles. Top it all off, and here we go. Let's get my big hands in there, and here's our first bite. Okay, so check out this glaze coming off of this thing. It's ridiculous. Of course, this is delicious, but at the same time, it's also the most confused I think my mouth has ever been. The donuts are so sweet, and the chicken is so delicious and savory. All the components are really good, but I think it's just overindulgence. I think what Chicken and Waffles has that this doesn't is a great balance. I think everything's working together in harmony in that dish. And here, I don't know. It just seems like excess for the sake of excess. Of course it's good. I really enjoy it, and it's worth tasting. But something in my head just screams, no, 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 no. This should not be entering your body. And it probably shouldn't be entering anybody's body. So if I were you, I would save yourself the extra day of preparation and just make chicken and waffles at home, or use each of these recipes on your own and you have beautiful fried chicken tenders and beautiful donuts. Until next time, have a great day.